Curiosity. What are you so curious about? Everything, Mr. Curiosity.
Time for Mr. C. How you guys feeling?
Great. I'm excited.
Special Halloween edition.
Spooky.
Yeah, see, you hear the strange voices, everyone. All right, Jay Snedeker here. We got Claire Alfrey. We got a new guy here. How should we call Tim Hopkins in his WNEP roles here? What are we going to say? You're Mr. Photojournalist. You're Mr. Behind-the-scenes guru. You're Mr. Music critic. You're Mr. Film critic.
I mean, honestly, Tim is kind of like my therapist, too. He has great life advice.
Come on, Tim, speak for yourself.
Wow.
Speak for yourself.
Yeah.
You're all that, right?
You want to call me that, sure.
All right, good.
Critic is a hard word, Joe.
No,
I'm a lover of film and music.
Lover of film and music and photojournalist. Is that good?
Yes.
All right. And then, of course, the reason that you're here, T-Dog, is because you have a podcast. Give us a minute of you. I'm going to shut up here.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. A whole minute? Let's not go that far.
The clock's ticking, big guy.
Let's not go that far.
No, but you do a podcast here that's very popular on WNEP's website called
The Creepy Side of NEPA. The Creepy Side of NEPA, we call it.
All right. And when you say creepy, you're not talking about like creeps.
I'm not talking about like you in the bushes watching somebody at night. No, I'm not talking about that. We're talking about like ghost stories. It up,
but it was going to be different. All right.
Like ghost stories, legend, stuff like that all across the viewing area.
And your podcast is semi-annually, semi-weekly, semi-monthly. What do you do?
Throughout the whole year, we do an episode a month. And then come October. So this time right now, we do an episode a week. So every week in October on Thursdays, we release a new episode.
And that's why I have you here now, to help promote it. Because I think I have more listeners than you. So take that.
Well, I'm sure you do. Wow. But you also have all these promos and everything. And you're just
I'm just messing with you. You know that. No, the truth is, though, when I mentioned that you were going to be here, Claire and I already got fired up.
Yes.
Okay.
So, I mean, this is a healthy discussion. Before we get to the brown bag and do all that stuff with Tim, the whole ghost thing. I mean, you're going to have Bigfoot lovers. You're going to have Loch Ness monster people. You're going to have
believe in the aliens.
You're going to have ancient aliens. Sure. So, do you at least admit that there is not one piece of credible evidence for ghosts? Hit it.
I believe everyone has a story they can't explain.
Okay.
I think even you had something that happened to you in the past that you can't explain.
You got me. I'm going to tell my story. You want to hear my story?
Yeah. Let's hear
Look at Tim. He's got the weird look in his face. This is a religious / unanswered story.
Okay.
Your altar board days.
Yeah. Any Catholic out there is going to relate to this one. So you know how you get the communion wafer, which is supposed to be the body and blood of Christ. I was brought up Catholic. I was an altar boy, all that stuff. All right. So I was like 12, 13 years old. And I went to do, you stick your tongue out at the priest. For those of you who are Catholic, Tim, you know this thing, right? Yeah. And then you get the silver plate underneath, right? Or you can do what? The new method that was just put out in the 80s?
Palm.
Yeah. Before that, Claire, did you know there was no palm option?
Ew, really?
Yeah, you always had to stick your tongue out.
The tongue thing is so awkward.
It's so awkward. And
yeah.
It's so anyway, so here I am, 12, 13 years old. I'm doing the hand thing. So the priest puts the communion wafer on the palm of my hand. And then he goes on to the next person.
Right.
I'm turning. It falls off my hand onto the ground. Now, remember, I was thinking at the time, oh, my God, that's the body and blood of Christ that just fell down. I don't know. I picked up little me. I was in a panic. I didn't know what to do. I'm thinking, should I tell the priest? Should I? I pushed it in my pocket.
Oh, no.
And then I just went back to my seat. And I was scared to death the whole time. Like, I have the body and blood of Christ in my pocket. Well, I don't know what to do. So then after church, I'm walking home. I'm like, I can't wait to tell my mom and she can show me what to do. I go in my pocket. Guess what?
It's gone.
It's gone.
Ooh. Wow. The Holy Spirit left you.
It's gone.
And is this one of those things you can't explain?
I can't explain it, but science would say it was never really thoroughly put in the pocket. And as I was walking, it wedged its way out, or it fell on the church floor, or there's a million things.
Possible.
Anything's possible. So if you want to extract from the realm of possibilities this whole thing called ghost, you can do that.
Sure.
Tim, you have any comment on that? What happened to my wafer?
It's one of life's great mysteries.
Claire, what do you think happened?
Happened to your wafer? Oh,
Yeah.
obviously, you just converted into the Holy Spirit and poof.
It just disappeared.
Yeah. I think, honestly, truthfully, you probably fell out of your pocket.
Something
but I
like
think
that.
the first answer that I said was way more interesting.
No, I know. And I know what you're saying. There, it's impossible to prove something doesn't exist. That's where you can't prove to me Santa Claus doesn't exist. You can't prove to me ghosts don't exist.
Yep.
You can't prove to me tooth fairies don't exist. Tim, this is the problem.
Yeah.
And when people tell me these stories, you can't prove if they're real. You can't prove they're fake, but they are entertaining. And I'm sure maybe a few people might have told me stories they made up, but I believe most of the people believe in what they're telling me,
Right.
and they just can't explain what happened to them.
Keep you guessing at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it makes for an interesting podcast.
Yeah.
And by the way, you have a great radio podcast voice.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, doesn't he?
You
Has a
admit
nice
that?
natural
Yeah.
vibrato. Yeah.
All right. So I brought up one of mine. Could
Well,
you
that's
guys
a big
come on?
word. I
It's
gotta
your-
look that word up. Vibrato.
Vibrato.
Yeah.
So Claire, it's your turn, and Tim, your turn. Something that you can't explain that happened in your life. I didn't know we were going to do this, but we're doing it.
Yeah. What do you think, Tim?
God,
we
I
haven't
don't-
talked about this.
If you
in
don't
our
have
car
it, then
ride.
you don't have it.
Well,
What are you going to
I
do?
will say there was one weird instance that happened at a hotel that people said was quote unquote haunted. And I don't
So-
believe it because I personally don't believe in ghosts. But for some reason, my sister woke up with these deep scratches on her back, and we were
Well,
turned
did you
upside
check them
down.
out? Were they there?
Yeah, that they weren't there before because they had a swimming pool and everything, and then we heard noises in the middle of the night and everything, and I couldn't explain why she just had scratches down her back because it was really
Sounds like
down her
something
back.
from an Exorcist film.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she's
this
fine
is
now.
Fabrication, I'm sure.
Yeah, so I'm sure she scratched on something. I just didn't notice
What
it.
gets me about the ghosts, it's always some girl who lived 600 years ago in England in a castle.
Yeah.
And her father was the wealthy landowner, and he never gave her enough attention. Her mother died when she was little, and then she fell out of the castle window 5 stories to her death. And now anyone who goes to that isolated castle hears her scream from her fall down.
Well, you're good at telling the story.
Because it's always something
No.
like that.
You
But when you think
enunciate
about the
very well.
massacres of humanity, from maybe what even happened to Native Americans, or all the massacres in wars throughout history, their voices are never heard. What about all them?
How about all the ghost
Why is
stories
it
in
always-
Gettysburg?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, there's some there. But what about the Neanderthal species that lived as a branch of our species? What about all of their stories? What about the slave ships from Africa?
I'm sure there are some stories. I don't know them all, Joe.
I'm
like-
just saying it's always an isolated, bizarre.
The thing that surprises me is all the stories in this area. You have every town almost around this season has a ghost walk. Usually they benefit something. They benefit a local museum or historical society, but they all have their own creepy stories in every area. They're
Mhm.
passed down throughout generations.
Well, that's just it, though. It's like tradition.
Sure.
Just like I have traditions of pierogies being made by my ancestors. Everybody has these stories.
Do you think the pierogi ghost is haunting you?
There's no pierogi ghost.
Well, there's
In
a
science-
giant anamorphic pierogi walking around haunting him. Yeah. Does it have eyes and a mouth, Joe?
High cholesterol.
I love that. I'd embrace that. I'd embrace that
High
pierogi.
blood pressure.
Yeah. Tim, do you have a ghost story?
You know what? I'll tie it in because I have a work-related one.
Wait.
Ooh, so do I.
Wait.
actually.
WNEP's
Really?
haunted?
No, not here. It was a live shot, and it was
Oh.
almost a year ago to the day. So it was your predecessor, Elizabeth.
Oh.
Okay.
We were live at Forest Hill Cemetery in Dunmore, and I only live a couple minutes away from there, so I'm familiar with it. And it was a ghost tour, and this was probably our 3rd or 4th live hit of the morning. And for some reason, every time there was a big tomb, above ground tomb, and every time I got close to it, my mic started acting up.
Ooh.
And I had a problem with it where I had to keep twisting the bottom of it, and it was fine, but I kept going by it. The mic was constantly twisted.
So that
It
problem was already in existence, though.
it was
before.
It was, but it was already done. I had fixed it, I was testing it, but every time I went by that tomb, for some reason that morning it was fluxing up. It was messing up. I couldn't explain it.
Interesting,
See?
T-Dog, right?
Something you can't explain.
Right.
Mhm.
We can't explain. But again, there in science, this is something we call confirmation bias.
Yeah.
We remember the hits, but forget the misses. There was a million times, not a million, hundreds of times, probably, Tim, you were out doing a shoot, you had static,
Yeah.
it would periodically come back when you walk near a telephone pole, but you don't remember that because the telephone
was
pole
in
is
the-
just a telephone pole.
But this was in the
Yeah.
middle of a cemetery where there was nothing else. I mean, not to mention the people in our production department noticed that, like, hey, there's static coming in your mic. I mean, I couldn't really explain it.
But that has happened before in other places.
Yeah, but that one's more explained by like metal roofing or what you were saying, power line and stuff. There was nothing in the cemetery.
No, all I'm saying with the power line analogy is that things happen and people forget them unless it's verified by their narrative, meaning I'm going to remember the static because I was doing a ghost story near a cemetery when all the other times you had static, you were not near anything. It was not a special day, so you forgot it.
Well, I'm not saying it's I'm like you. I'm not really a big ghost believer or anything, but I'm just saying it was something I couldn't explain. It was only right when I went by there.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
It's a weird coincidence.
Before we do the brown bag, I just want everyone to know in science, which is saved humanity, we just want to say, show us the evidence.
Sure.
Yeah.
And everything must be evidence. And that has saved our species. Think about what people used to do when they had cancers and sores and diseases in the past. Think of all the horrible things that used to be done, right? From traditions and why'd you go?
I was there. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and let's kill the person in the village who is the most evil because God is then taking his toll on all of us. I mean, so let's have science answer things, facts, not anecdotes.
I'm not against what you're saying at all, Joe.
Not anecdotes, not confirmation bias. Let's go with facts. But yet, let's listen to your podcast and be entertained.
Sure.
Especially around Halloween.
Yep.
And we can all agree on this. Beetle Juice, a good
Well,
movie.
now, wait a minute. I didn't
Great
share my
movie,
story yet.
Oh, here we go.
Let's
here.
go.
Wow.
Take the
And
mic.
it is a
Jumping
work-related one, too.
Here we go.
Wow.
So the one night, I'm actually a director here at WNEP. So one of my jobs is to go out in the studio and make sure everything's on before the newscast. So I make sure the monitors are on, whatnot. So I go out in the studio the one night, and I was actually turning the monitors off. And the monitor wall behind where the anchors sit at the desk. So you see it on TV. It always has a graphic in it. It's right centered behind the anchors. So I go up with the remote control to turn off the monitors. And every once in a while, especially with our older monitors, one would turn off, the other one would turn on. You would have a problem. You would have to go up close to.
Is this like the monitor set with 9 individual little
Yep.
individual TVs that make a big mosaic of one image?
Yep.
Okay. There
So especially our older monitors we had last year, you would have problems with some of them. You would have to go up close with the remote and turn them off individually. So as I was turning them off, the one wouldn't turn off. So I had to walk up close to it. And as I arrived close to the monitor, there is an entrance into our studio in my right-hand side. You would know this, Joe, but I know our viewers wouldn't. So as I'm up to the monitor wall, I see out of the corner of my eye, somebody standing in the doorway. So I thought it was one of our other directors. We're always playing jokes on each other and whatnot. So I turn around real quick. Nobody was there.
Ooh.
So I was like, wait a second.
Yeah, but what did you
So
see?
I
What
thought
was it,
maybe
a clear image or
it
like a
looked just
blurry
like
blight?
Out of
I've
the
had
very corner of
migraines.
my eye, it just looked like a dark silhouette of a person.
Shadow. There
Yeah.
could have been a little chipmunk crawling on their lights.
This looked like a person, though. So wait.
Shadows
So I was
can
like,
take
wait a
forms.
second. So I ran out of the doorway. I thought like one of the directors were like hiding around the corner waiting for me. There was nobody there.
Nobody there.
Now, could it be explained? I'm sure it could. I don't know. But it gave me a weird feeling that day.
Maybe
Yeah,
they
they were
tried to
weird.
scare you and then
That's
they
what
got
I thought.
chickened
Yeah.
out.
And
And
You
then they
can't
ran
run away that quick, though.
It could have been
I don't
someone.
know.
You would hear them.
I'm not
also.
going to say the name, but there's a person who works here that has a reputation of hiding in the building.
Well, usually that's me at night.
I will say T-Doc has been very successful at scaring me around the corner.
So it takes quite a bit to scare me. And that really
Yeah.
didn't scare me, but it did give me a weird feeling.
But you see how all these forms of evidence for ghosts it's on the edge of real fact, but more anecdotal story. Who knows?
Who knows? That's
Yeah.
that's the thing.
Wow.
And why would ghosts just tease us? Either, why would they play with
Maybe
our
it's their
mind?
form of entertainment.
I was
Maybe
gonna say
they're
maybe
bored.
they
Yeah.
think it's funny.
They probably
Why
want
can't they just
attention.
come out and just give me a big bear hug or punch me in the head? Why shadowy images?
Maybe they
peaks?
don't like you, Joe. I don't know.
That's their way of saying that. That's their way of telling you to get away from them.
Get away?
Probably.
Okay, well, come on. Come at me,
Well, they had-
ghost. I'm
well,
not
they-
afraid of you.
Well, they had humor in life. I mean, why can't they have humor in the afterlife? It's like, oh, let's tease this guy.
It's a
Come
good
on.
point.
Let's prank him.
Yeah,
Could we agree on this? What I said before, Beetle Juice, good movie.
great movie.
Yeah,
Very-
good musical.
Very fun.
Good music.
Yeah, the musical. was
The
really
musical's
good.
really good.
The theatrical person says that. All right. So Did you like Keaton's version of the whole thing then, or what?
How do you hate Michael Keaton?
Yeah, he's a likable
Great
guy.
actor.
Yeah.
And what about the head shrinking and the big body and all those weird scenes?
That's
It
what
adds to the movie.
Yeah, it adds to the.
Maybe that's what you should do in the
Giants.
backyard.
And Tim will know this. That's why we have him here. Who was the actor who just died? He was very creepy in that movie.
Beetle Juice?
Yeah, and Beetlejuice just died within the last year. He was the wealthy mansion guy, I believe. His daughter was in where they went to formally eat. This is the kind of thing.
Robert Goulet, right?
Was it?
I think.
All
I didn't even
right.
know about this.
We're gonna look this up. I can tell.
Well, I know one of them was Dick Cavett. Dick Cavett's still alive, so.
Claire's getting bored, so we better move on to Brown Bag.
I'm
Are you
looking
looking
it
up?
up.
Well, Glenn Shaddix died. He was Otho. He was the friend of Catherine O'Hara's character. I know he's been dead for years, but
Maybe it's 2-3 years. Anyway, so we'll move on. We like Beetlejuice. We like your podcast. Happy Halloween, everyone, which is coming up soon, and we're going to move on. Just about a week away.
Woo woo.
Woo woo. All right, so it's time to switch gears. We're doing Brown Bag Monday.
Okay.
Which is these questions all submitted by the people out there. They're bizarre. They're weird. I got this email in, didn't have time to print it out. We're going to start with this one. Are you ready?
sure.
Now, I want you to really think this through. And we're going to start with you, T-Dog. Would you wear a banana suit
Oh, God.
every day for the rest of your life? Whenever you leave your house, you have to put on a banana suit.
So it's on the whole day till I get home?
As soon as you leave your house, you have to put on a banana suit
Okay.
for $250,000 a year. But the deal is for 20 years, you have to do this. So there's no getting out of this. If you agree to the deal, you have to do this for 20 years, $250,000 a year. If you break the deal within those 20 years, you're instantly dead. You wearing the banana suit.
No.
No.
Nah, I wouldn't.
Tim also, he said
I
no.
want to do it.
You're not going to do
I
that.
want to do it.
Claire.
That is the biggest ripoff ever. You have no life.
You have no life for 20 years.
Yeah.
How old are you?
23.
So you're in your 40s. You have no life.
I would literally do life in a banana suit.
So your whole 30s, you're walking around banana suit.
Yeah, that's fine with me.
She just said, "Oh, I'll make a bit out of it." You can't go to weddings, concerts, parties,
can.
gatherings, restaurants,
You
movies.
go as a banana.
You can't. You're not gonna. You're not gonna. No one's gonna.
That'd be quite the icebreaker on a first date.
Yeah. No one's. You're not gonna. Be honest. You're gonna take that deal. You have no career. Are you a career woman?
Yeah, I am.
I mean,
Now your
she's on a
career-
morning show. Look
Yeah.
at you.
Yeah, exactly. I'm on the morning show.
No, your career is over.
No, it's not.
You can't come to work in a banana suit
Yes,
every
you
day.
Joe, how do you
can.
explain the stuff you
Yeah,
do?
Stop
come
it.
on.
Sean, are you doing the banana suit?
a career. You're getting $250,000.
Okay,
That
but
is
isn't there
very
more to
true.
life than that?
No, just traveling around the world, being influencer of me in a banana suit, traveling and doing stuff in a banana suit and seeing people's reaction.
The three of us are instant no's. I want you to be totally honest. Are you doing this for a joke? Or are you really taking that deal?
I'm doing it for real.
You're a prisoner in your house.
No, I'm going out in a banana suit.
Could you even sit in a car with a banana suit? The top.
Not
hit-
very
Yellow.
easily.
Oh,
No.
yeah, no.
Yellow is literally my favorite color. It's
So
like,
now you're buying a convertible for the rest of your life. You're gonna.
I got $250K a year. What else am I going to spend it on?
Imagine her reading a news story in the banana suit in the morning.
She's not working. It's over. She's fired.
I
She
don't need to work like
refuses-
Sean said.
Yeah, you don't have.
That is a valid point.
Yeah.
But what makes
250 grand.
fulfillment in life is not money. It's satisfaction, your career.
I could
Experiences,
transition my career as
touring.
an influencer banana girl.
So you're gonna influence other people to wear a banana
No.
suit so you don't feel as alone.
I mean, I could,
basically.
but like,
You're
literally,
not-
that'd be a genius TikTok idea.
You're not touring or the world. You can't vacation anywhere.
Can't
Why
get on a
not?
plane in
You
a
can't get on a
banana
plane in a
suit.
Why
banana
not?
suit. You're gonna go through customs
Okay.
and they're gonna kick you out as a psycho. No banana suit.
Oh, God.
This
I
isn't
feel
gonna
so-
work. This isn't gonna work. There's no
It's
life.
so much worse, Joe.
There's no life in a banana suit.
Hey,
There isn't
why do
one.
I go and add this to my cart? Actually,
What are you
You're
doing?
gonna
You have a banana suit?
I'm gonna buy
She's gonna
one
buy
now.
one.
How much are they? Banana
Let's
suit
go
on
look.
Amazon.
Amazon.
Real time right here.
While you're searching that, we're gonna move on and we're gonna find out who the actor is in Beetlejuice. All right, here we go.
Do you
Are
want
you
me to
ready for the first question? Dun, 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 dun.
I thought that was the first
It's only
one.
That was
$35.
$35.
$35.
Why is this loofah thing in the brown bag?
I don't know what you do here in the morning, Joe.
You're gonna clean the podcast
This is
table.
because a few weeks ago I said I steal my wife loofah and I clean the
Oh,
shower.
there's a
with
What's
it.
the
note.
text say?
Wait a minute. What?
All right, so
Wait a minute.
we had a question. Do you use detergents or or
Spray.
spray disinfectants to clean bathtubs and showers. I'm like, my wife leaves loofah around, so I put soap on the loofah, and it's the best cleaner
Disgusting.
you're ever gonna get. It scrubs the tub, it scrubs the
And then
shower.
she scrubs her body.
What is wrong with you?
Why?
Exactly.
She doesn't know.
What do you use?
Well, now she does.
God forbid you use bleach on it. and
No,
she's
it's
going to
just
wash
soap.
it. Dear
That I'm
God.
protecting the environment from chemicals.
Oh my God! You can't buy a
No, it's
sponge.
not written on the other
There's a
side.
note on it.
Joe's official
Oh.
cleaning loofah. Do not touch. So this is mine. All right.
Okay.
First question. Here you go, T-Dog, Mr. Halloween. Dig deep. Are you going for a puffy one or a little flat question? What's it going to be, big guy?
This was kind of flat.
Kind of flat. Flat it is. Here we go.
Let's pretend you had to use human kitty litter set up instead of modern plumbing for the rest of your life. But you would receive 50 grand a year tax free. Would
No,
you do it?
No,
Another
no,
scenario.
no.
Another money.
Another scenario. Okay,
No.
wait a minute.
I wouldn't do that one either.
So there's no plumbing in your house.
Just a box of kitty litter.
So wait a minute. This is interesting.
So wait, I have another question here with this. If you can't use modern plumbing, how about when you go to work? Do you have to bring the box with you?
I guess you could take a shower somehow. When you're
Wait, that defeats the
I don't know.
purpose
Does
of
it
the
say?
question.
It just says you can't use modern plumbing
See, you
Let's
can't take a
pretend you're to
shower.
use human kitty litter to set up
for
instead
the
of a
rest
set
of your
of
life. So, like when you go to work, you have to take the box with you.
$50K tax free.
No,
No, I want to do
No.
it, but
no.
That's not.
At
You have to,
home,
I guess,
just-
T-Dog, you would have to have your own little box next to your desk.
I don't see that being a big negative. A big kitty litter at home. You're still, I mean, modern plumbing, I think they just mean
What
for
about when you
waste
go out?
removal. You still have shower, you still have sink, faucet. You just, when
so you're
you,
doing it.
I'm just saying, when you have to go to the bathroom, you have to go on the human kitty litter.
I'm not hearing
No.
a no.
I'm not hearing it either.
I'm considering that.
Stop
Oh my,
that.
stop it.
Stop
That's-
that. You're
Why?
just doing this
That's
for the
not
joke
even
now.
a negative.
That's insane.
What do
is
you
wrong
pee
with
5-6 times a day? You just pee in the kitty litter.
Yeah, but then you got to
But what
clean it
about-
up yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
You
what about
clean
if
up for
like
your
gone out?
cats.
You
It
take a little
smells
pocket
so
full of kitty
bad.
litter
Do you
with
even have a cat?
I don't know if that applies to outside your home.
That was my question.
That's
It says
a
you
loophole,
can't use
yeah.
modern plumbing.
Yeah, you can't use modern plumbing. Period.
So you're right. You have to bring the kitty litter
Yeah.
to work.
Then you go
Yeah.
out. Let me take a box of kitty litter with me.
Yeah, I'm gonna put this in the bathroom real quick, guys.
All right. So I'm a maybe. What do you? Definitely no. Tim, what do you?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
No. Well,
Claire?
Well,
No.
imagine I come to work. Let's say my desk is next to Claire's. I walk in with a big box of kitty litter. Oh, hey, Claire.
I would cry.
No, what you would do, I think, was go into the bathroom in your own privacy and put down your kitty litter box when no one is. You close
Doesn't it
the
sound like a lot of work to you.
you
too?
close the door like you would in a stall, and then you do your thing in the kitty litter, and then you leave. You
And
know,
would you just leave the kitty litter there?
you take the box out, you put it in like a briefcase or something. I don't know.
Briefcase. That's disgusting.
You can find a way garbage bag.
Of all the questions I've been asked by you on this shift so far, this might be the weirdest.
This isn't me.
This
I don't
might
know
be-
where this
Someone
came
else.
from.
You asked it, or some T-Dog asked it to me, but that I've been asked to work. That might be the strangest. So
So you're saying definitely no. So we have a
No,
maybe,
absolutely.
no, Claire. I want you to really think.
It's gonna be so hard to do that while wearing the banana suit. So no, absolutely
Oh
not.
yeah, now you're making $300,000 a year.
No.
with this extra 50.
No, I cannot do the human kitty litter thing.
I can't believe you're taking the banana, but not the kitty litter.
The banana
I would
thing's-
take the banana over the kitty litter.
See?
too.
You guys are nuts. How many times you go to the bathroom? This is a minor inconvenience.
Do you know how many beverages I have? Like whenever Tim and I go to a store, I have 3 different drinks.
What happens if you leave the house and forget the kitty litter? You're just not going?
There's
for the rest
days.
of the day?
There's days
Are
that
you
you
gonna
don't go at work.
Crash someone else's kitty box? I
No,
don't
you
know.
have to run out of the building.
All the way home or all the way to the store for some kitty litter?
I have an easy solution to that. I didn't even think about this. You set up somewhere near your workplace a kitty litter area, like a little sandbox, and that's
A
yours,
sandbox.
and no one knows about it. So you just like, I go to the bathroom, you run outside, and you go in your kitty.
I could just see it now. Giving tours of the station. What's in that room? Oh, that's Joe's sandbox.
It's outside, by the way. It's not inside. It's
Oh,
outside.
it's an outhouse.
I'd like
Yeah.
I'd like to see the precaution before that. Like keep an open mind. Sandbox.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the 50 grand I make the first year, I build a nice kitty litter outhouse here at the
I
station.
can't believe you're thinking.
And then
about
it's
this.
gravy
I
after
can't
that.
believe you're thinking about.
I'm
this.
doing this.
Oh my god.
All right. Maybe. No.
No.
I'm the only maybe here. You're up next, Timmy baby.
Okay.
Are you
Which
gonna
I
go?
Which I go for?
That's up to you,
Ooh.
big guy.
It's whatever you're feeling in the moment.
All right, I'll grab this one.
All right, here we go. Questions submitted by you. By the way, keep in mind, brownbag@WNEP.com is how you get your questions in. The weirder, the better. Brownbag@WNEP.com. It's so easy.
Looks like a lot of writing on that paper.
Yeah, this is
They
a
wrote
very.
you
Some
a
are
love
long. Keep them
letter.
short, people. Could you do a summary?
This
at
is
least?
like this is
Is
very
it
long.
is it appropriate or is it?
I don't see anything.
Claire, are you
here.
helping him
Hang
out
on.
there? What? Is there a question in there?
Is it a
Oh,
story?
Hang
look
on,
at the
all
giggle,
right,
the
all
giggle, the
Yeah.
giggle.
Should I read? All right.
You should just read it all.
All right. I have been horrified by your somewhat new practice of having the news scroll by on the bottom of the screen while the weather segment is on.
Okay, wait. So weather's on, news scroll at the bottom. Isn't the news scroll on always?
It's always, yeah,
Mhm.
usually.
We never use it at night, but you guys in the morning, I think.
Sean's gonna have to help us here. Is that an all the time thing? That there's news scroll at the bottom of the screen.
All the time? No.
Yeah, it's on every newscast, right?
Well, I thought you meant all the time, like all day long.
Just in the morning.
No, just in.
Just in the morning.
All right, this guy's horrified by that. What else?
All right. When we are watching the weather, you don't even want to give us a break from the headlines. Really? Is that necessary? Now we can't even watch the weather. Why would you think people want to multitask to the point of watching and listening to the forecast and add on top of that, reading the constant news scrolling by? It'd be nice if you went back to a family-friendly weather forecast.
So I wish we had someone maybe who is more knowledgeable in this. Or does anybody here want to speak up? I thought so. The top stories, headlines are at the bottom. They're scrolling. You choose to look and read or not. Like you can easily ignore them. It's not like it's
people
blogging.
actually read them.
I think if you want to get the weather, okay, I'm listening to the weather. Oh, and by the way, look at the top story. Bear captured in tent in Oregon. Like, oh, that's interesting. You can just read that at the bottom.
Or if
you
you're
want.
catching up. Maybe
Catching
tuning
up.
late. Yeah.
I don't see how it's a negative. Is it
No, it's not
distracting?
I don't think so.
I don't
Well, this
think
guy's
so.
horrified.
Yeah.
How about Tim? He's like, yeah.
Yeah. I'm not gonna
He's not
lie.
happy about it.
He's horrified.
He said horrified.
He said horrified, Claire.
Horrified.
He did.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So we should just move on. You guys don't want to add to
Well,
this.
my thing is like Tim said, sometimes you get on and it's like what 5:20, and you miss the whole point.
That's
But
what
you're
I mean.
at the
So it's a
weather
nice
part.
way to catch up.
Yeah. it's
Yeah.
a good way.
The
That-
news headlines at the bottom of the screen.
It's subtle enough at the bottom, I think.
Phillies win World Series. I'm watching weather. Oh, I found out they
You
won.
just jinxed that.
Don't you dare jinx that.
Knock on wood or
I'm just
something.
saying you get that.
Yeah.
So
I get
people who
that.
are on the go, they're putting on their socks, pulling up their underwear. They don't have time to stick around to see sports. Oh, Phillies win World Series. I just saw it during weather.
It makes sense.
I'm liking this. I'm not horrified.
No, I'm not.
I'm
either.
horrified by that guy.
Wow.
Mhm. Someone on our team took the time to make
harsh.
him type out those headlines
Yeah,
and
that's
put them
pretty
in the
harsh.
thing.
Someone
Yeah,
on our
someone
team
took
took
the time.
the
I'm glad that they do
time.
that.
Yeah, I'm glad they do that.
Or
Yeah,
was it
me too.
AI?
No, it's somebody.
It's someone. It's someone. It's made with love. Only here at WNEP.
All right, Claire, you're up next.
Okay.
Why'd you just go like this? Okay, smiles, digs in.
I'm so excited.
excited.
She's
to do
excited.
it.
Yeah, here we go. Tim, now before she reads, this is your first brown bag. Is it exciting? do you
Not only
think?
is this my first brown bag, this is the first ever podcast.
Ooh,
Oh.
first ever
Whoa.
podcast. I love it. All right. Well, it's good to have
Okay.
you.
Yeah.
So, hot take.
Hot take. What does that mean?
What do you guys think of the state of malls today? They are shells of what they used to be, filled with guys selling used baseball cards, community college outlets, and small local businesses selling homemade pottery amongst empty retail stores. Now, what's that word? What's that word?
Defunct.
There you go. Defunct.
Now defunct.
Wow. Claire, it's your question. I don't know if you have the history, you two versus us two, a little older, of malls.
Hey!
I had the View Mall in this team town.
Well, haven't malls been
Been a-
what he's calling his shells of what
You're
they
talking
were?
to someone who heavily depends on retail therapy to survive.
Oh,
Okay.
Retail
took that
therapy.
very seriously,
Yeah, that's
John.
All right, well,
I
then when you were
love shopping.
what's your memory of malls at their peak? And that you don't have memory in the 90s when they were at their peak, I'd say, because you weren't even alive.
Yeah. Well, the 2000s, like it was just something from like everyone fun to do. It's just like, what do? You just
Oh, so
go
you
to the
did do that.
mall. Yeah, it's an experience. Like you go, it's like a reward. Especially like I would behave throughout the week. My parents were like, okay, it's Sunday. You go to church. We're going out to eat. And we're going to the mall. Like, and you're like, oh, look at let's go.
It really was a thing because it's middle of January, February. It's 12 degrees outside. It's
Yeah.
gray. It's ugly. When you go to the mall, they have the ceiling lights. They have the open air vibe.
And now I
You
feel
get
like
the people watch.
yeah,
Leave
because
your coat in the car.
Leave
You're
your
good to
coat
go.
in the car.
Good.
It's like going for a 3-mile walk.
but that's what malls are now. Now, like especially like in Schuylkill County, the Fairlane Mall is one of the saddest things I've ever seen. And I, because I do everything in
because
Schuylkill
it's
County.
old guys walking.
It's an indoor walking track. That's what that mall is now. I mean, like I'm satisfied with a TJ Maxx and a Dunham's and a Dollar Tree, like there. But
So they are there.
They are there.
Well, that's what we're wondering. So, what are you nostalgic about? What malls used to be?
Yeah,
I
I miss
yeah.
it. And you know, whenever I do miss it, I just go to King of Prussia, and I'm like, okay.
King of Prussia still has it, right?
Yeah, they have the mall feel, and it's a magical feeling.
She's right. If you miss the mall feeling, go to the Philly area, King of Prussia.
Yeah, that's where I spend my paycheck. So, and we get paid this Friday. But you know, at the same time, it is really sad. It is really sad how like that's just going away with the increase of like online shopping.
I know, and we're all to blame because I just went to Amazon this morning and bought 3.
I mean, I'm about to buy a banana suit.
It's convenient, but it's against our own. For the good of humanity, and you know it's wrong, but you do it.
I know I like it, but I also hate shopping.
You know? Me too.
Whoa! You guys hate shopping?
Guys hate shopping.
I'm not,
especially for clothes. Terrible.
That's why I like Amazon. I know my size. Ordered.
Now I'll go to like Best Buy. That's fine.
That's I'll tell my wife. You go where you going. I'll be at Best Buy.
Best Buy is so boring.
Best Buy is boring.
Yeah, because I mean they have the screens, which is cool with the TVs, and you see like the
no electronic speaker stereo equipment.
It's pretty wild.
So tell me your knowledge of growing up with malls. Is there anything there? Or no?
Well, I mean, when I was younger, I mean that was not like every weekend, but like every couple weekends. You know, my mom would take me and my sister. We would go shop if we needed stuff.
And it's a warm, cuddly feeling.
I guess. I mean, I don't really remember it that much, but I just remember we would go there. It must be like Boscov's or something, or up at the Viewmont, it'd be like Old Navy or American Eagle.
I mean, you can still do it, but it's diluted now. It's something weird.
And me being a movie person, I'd always go.
After shopping for 3 hours, let's go to the movies.
Go to
it's
the,
right
no,
there.
no, the DVD store.
Oh, that's vintage.
Because they would always because there used to be one in the Steamtown Mall, but there's still one up at Viewmont, the FYE. I would always go there. They always had discounts on DVDs, and they still do.
Sam Goody's.
What?
That was a DVD music outlet.
I don't remember.
Heard of them, but I never saw one. I don't think.
Is that like older than Blockbuster?
So before Spotify and iTunes, my wife would go to the clothes store. I'm going to the record store. I'd hang out there for 2 hours, just look at albums.
You had more options in the mall.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's all gone.
See, that's one thing I wish I had. I feel like a record store would be pretty cool.
Well, they were in every mall.
I know. Yeah, no, they were really
with posters and cool paraphernalia.
You used to go into a booth and listen to whatever you want.
Oh, you know what? I'm going to cry.
Why?
Because it's all gone. It's a shell of what it was. It's all guys selling baseball cards and whatever else that guy said.
It's a lot of sports and sneaker places.
Yeah, and there's a community college outlet there.
You can't deny there's 2 times out of the year that people go to the mall. It's when Santa's there getting pictures and the Easter Bunny's there to Easter. You always find people there because they get pictures with the kids.
I gotta say, I'm one of the weird people who like going to Christmas shopping.
You like the crowds?
Yes.
Christmas shopping.
Yes, that's the only time I'll go shopping. I like the crowds. I like when the hustle and bustle in the mall.
Hustle and bustle. You don't seem like a hustle and bustler.
I think he likes to go people watching because that's why I like going.
That's a great thing. Yeah. Well, speaking of, my buddies and I in the 80s used to go to malls. Guess why?
To people watch?
To pick up girls. This is how life has changed.
Yeah, and how did that work, Joe?
Well, no, because
I wouldn't go picking up girls in the mall now.
No, because people would just go and hang out at the mall. So over there would be a bunch of girls from Valley View, and there was a bunch of girls from Honesdale. And they're all, hey, I'm Joe.
Of course, it was a social hub.
It was a social hub.
Yeah.
You guys don't understand. There's no swipe left. What is that thing?
Tinder.
There's no that. There's no Facebook.
Well, I didn't really have.
There's no phone.
There's hardly any internet back then.
There is no internet. I'm going to 88, 90.
Oh, yeah. There's no internet.
It's just me and Checkered. What was that store? Checkered.
I don't even
Chess King. Chess King. The wall music.
You put the stickers on.
You put the stickers. Chess King and Girls from Honesdale. I'm there.
Wow.
Then what mall did you go to? Viewmont Mall?
So Viewmont Mall was huge. The Wilkes-Barre Mall was like a big deal. If I can go all the way down to Wilkes-Barre.
Big trip for you.
Big trip for us up Valley
guys.
Yeah,
that mall is sad.
And then when I went to college, there was Park City Mall, one of the biggest malls in the area in Lancaster. I still went there in college to hang out with my buddies.
Yeah.
It's all gone. Claire, give us a song. It's gone.
It's gone. It's gone.
gone.
The malls.
It's a
They're
touching
gone.
moment between you two.
Thank you.
This podcast has slowly morphed into a recollection of stuff that Joe liked that's gone. Man.
But the sad
First
part
record
is,
store is now the mall.
but the funny part is, since then, even in the 80s, if my wife said, when I got married in the mid 90s, let's go to the mall, I'd be like, oh no, please. That's like torture. I don't want to go to the mall. It's one of those things. I'm glad it was there, but I never wanted to go.
Yeah.
What's another
Mm.
example of that? Something you're happy exists, but you don't want any part of it.
A ballet recital.
Hey now, ballet is so
Ballet
much
recital.
fun.
Or how about cheesecake?
What about,
I love
wait,
cheesecake.
I love
Whoa.
cheesecake.
Yeah,
Okay,
we
I
love
hate cheesecake.
Yeah, I'm not a
The
big
Cheesecake
cheesecake guy.
Factory, though, Cheesecake Factory, it's a little chaotic. Like, I'm glad it's there, but I don't want to go to the Cheesecake Factory.
You're nuts. All right. Let's do just one or two more, and then we're out of here because,
Your turn, Joe.
yeah, but our special guest, I thought you guys do the
Yeah,
one or
yeah,
two.
yeah.
You do another one.
Okay.
Tim does another one, then we're done. Here we go.
Who at WNEP has the easiest job and the least amount of work?
I like the second question there. Don't ignore that one. That's the
Oh,
best
Want to
one.
get to the first one first?
All right. Well, let's no. Maybe we just answer that when we throw the other one in for
What's the
next
other
week.
one?
It's sciencey.
Oh.
Go ahead. You might as well ask.
Yeah,
You're really
might as
dying
well.
to ask.
Is the
it.
Gulf of Mexico an impact crater? No, but the asteroid that did wipe out 75% of all life crashed into what is now the Yucatan Peninsula in the Gulf of Mexico. But that was only about the size of Pennsylvania. Not the whole Gulf of Mexico is not an impact crater, but that one little area is.
I had no idea I was going to learn that this morning.
That was 66
Yeah.
million years ago. If
Wow.
that thing did not hit the Yucatan Peninsula and wipe out the dinosaurs and 75% of all life, none of us would be here
Yeah.
Oh.
because the mammals took off and took over the planet after the dinosaurs were extinct. If that thing didn't hit the earth, we wouldn't be here right now. No podcast.
Now this is turning into a history lesson.
Yeah,
Well,
you get
Well,
a
let's
lot
go to
of
the
different
previous
flavors.
one. Let's end with this one, Tim, if
Yeah.
you don't mind, because this could be a
You know what?
5-minute discussion.
Sure. Go, let's do it.
Well, we won't
Can
say
I-
the name, but the role. Who has the easiest job and least amount of work? I'm going to say
Of the role.
I'm going to say webmaster.
I knew you were.
It's
Yeah.
I knew you were gonna say. I knew you were gonna say somebody in this room. I knew.
no. I'm trying to think of the honest answer to that.
I don't know. Everybody does a pretty fair amount of work here.
Maybe the person who like does the canteen, like that fills up the snacks.
It doesn't really
That
work at
doesn't
WNEP.
count. We're talking one. Come on.
Employed by us. Yeah.
Oh.
I think one of like the directors that have been here a long time.
Oh,
yeah,
hey,
yeah,
hold on, wait a minute
yeah.
here.
What do
It
you
makes
guys?
the rounds
What do
in
you
the
guys do?
newsroom.
Are you
No.
sure you don't need this bell?
When there- Forgot about that. When there's no newscast, what are you guys doing?
I work on the creepy side.
He's a
I
hardworking
got to
man.
schedule interviews. I got to find guests.
Okay, would you say director's one of the jobs that least amount of work or no?
I don't think
We're
so.
trying to be honest here.
I would honestly say depend on the day. There's
Okay.
days that directors do more work than the people in the newsroom.
You are gonna get. I hope you get so many purposeful mistakes
I'm
tomorrow
trying
morning.
to be honest here. What about photojournalists?
I
No,
would say
Tim does a
every job
lot.
Depends on the day because you'd be walking by a
Every-
photojournalist, they'll
without-
be taking a break. You'd
Yeah.
be walking by them another day, they don't get a break.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Same
There's
way
some
with
day-
director.
There's some days where it's kind of breezy, and there's some other days where I'm standing up all day. I mean, doing stuff.
How about meteorologists?
Yeah.
Well, to me, it's great work. I love it. It's honest. It's simple. It's fun. I wouldn't say simple, but it's pleasure for me to do. But we get here an hour or two before we're on, graphics, 4 hours of news. After that ends, then making graphics for the next day's show, radio, internet updates. I don't know. There's
You
a
do-
lot of work.
You do a fair bit. I mean,
I think
Yeah.
every job here, people don't realize what really goes into it.
Yeah. I
There's
agree.
gotta be
From
something
directing
we're
to
missing.
reporting to meteorologist to anchoring.
yeah, everybody does.
It's a constant
I don't think you can
grind.
answer it. I don't think we can.
Unless
answer
you
that
want to put
question.
someone in sales. I don't know. I don't know what
Ooh.
goes on that side.
Salespeople.
Oh,
Let's put it
They
on
do-
them.
They do good work.
They do good work.
They sit back there at their feet posted on the table
No, they don't.
on the
No,
phone.
No,
I
they-
see one guy, he just counts money all day long.
You're gonna make a lot of enemies.
I just made that up. I just made that up. So we don't know the answer to that.
Yeah.
I don't think there is an answer.
How about web content provider?
Yeah, maybe. Sean, do you think your web guys do a lot of work?
He's still.
I think everybody does. I don't think there's a job in this place that, and I agree. I don't think people have 100% grasp on what every other person in the building does.
That's exactly it.
Everybody plays
Yeah.
a key role in
No,
it.
you're right. Yeah, no one knows what the other people do, so it appears to that person that they don't do much.
Well, that's the whole thing with the news industry, I feel too. Like people, unless you're in news, like you have no idea. Like you literally are just like surfing through the channel. You have no idea how many hours it took to make that whole show.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Takes
agree
quite a
with
bit of
Well, would you guys then say that the hardest working guy is me?
that.
You can unanimously say no to that one.
Come on,
Notice
don't
I didn't ring the bell.
All right, we'll see you next time. Get your questions in, Claire. Where?
At brownbag@WNEP.com.
Yeah,
Hold on, before we
one
close.
word, brownbag@WNEP.com. Thanks for listening. Keep the questions coming. Our weirdness depends on your questions. Yes.
Before we close, just want to say if anyone has a ghost story to share, send it to
Ooh.
ghost@WNEP.com.
Oh, so I didn't know that. So ghost.
Yep.
At
Or maybe they have a
WNEP.com.
legend, or maybe they just have an idea for an episode.
Yeah, good idea.
Spooky.
And let me tell you the scientific problem with that. What if I said, if anyone has a cure for whooping cough, just, send it to me. You'd hear all sorts of
You would probably
remedies.
enjoy reading them, though.
Yeah, but would they be medical? You know what I'm saying?
The thoughts that come into your head.
The point is, we love your podcast. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks
Ghost,
for having me.
Ghost,
Ghost@WNEP.com.
and brownbag@WNEP.com. And what are we all doing for Halloween? Which is on a
Working.
what this year?
It's
Yeah.
on a Tuesday.
Monday?
Yeah, it's
Tuesday, my dudes. We're all gonna be together working in the morning.
Yeah, I'll be here.
I'll be typical old guy at night, lights out, in bed at 7:30, 8 o'clock.
Oh, I have like 5 days off around Halloween.
You're a
so
sicko, aren't you?
I sure am.
All right.
We could go TP some of the people here's house if you want. It'd be funny.
Oh.
We'll get the guy who works the least. Toilet paper his house.
There you go.
Sounds good. Until next time, we're out.
Curiosity. What are you so curious about? Everything, Mr. Curiosity.